Cloud. Okay, good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It feels like Monday. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to Dreamstruck. We are so excited to jump into this tonight, to jump into June. That is our topic and theme for tonight. We have all of our panelists that are on. Yay! So excited about that. And we just wanted to really kind of jump into the announcement that happened last night with all the partnerships and the things that are in store. And the thing is, after the end of the month was over last night, I was like, you know, we just kind of grazed the icing, you know, a little bit of the icing. And we have no idea what all we are in store for. Okay, let me do this, make myself the spotlight. Okay. Zoom is just acting a little wonky. I'm not sure. We've got someone else on the screen and I don't know how to, hold on a second. How to change the spotlight. Anyone know how to do that? I don't know who this is. Can you guys, Carol, do you see what I'm seeing? Or do you all see me?
The problem is I'm on my phone, so mine looks totally
Gotcha.
different because
Okay.
I'm out here painting.
Okay.
But I don't know how to fix it.
I don't either.
From my phone.
I don't know either.
Okay. Does anyone know who it is so that way I can kind of turn off the image?
There's Jen Johnson. But...
Jen. Okay. Let me see if I can. Jen Johnson. Got it. Okay. So we are going to just. Okay. Because I don't know how to do that. Okay. All right. There we are. We're back in business. Yes. I know Facebook acts wonky sometimes and then Zoom acts wonky. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to open up with another question for the evening. And I just wanted to go around to the all of the panelists right now and ask you, in our current catalog or our current Bring Back My Bar cycle, what is your current favorite scent that you are loving at the moment? So this is just kind of an icebreaker opener, and we can start with Kelly.
I knew she was going to do that. I'm going to go with, let me look at my Bring Back My Bar list. I have one on the top of my head, and I'm thinking, you know, I got a story with it too. It's Love Story. So Love Story was around, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago when I was living in a different house. And for some reason, somebody broke into my truck one night and they didn't take anything out of my truck but my Love Story scent pack that was in the dashboard of my truck, because I used to keep a scent pack there because when you had it on the dashboard, it would blow air through the scent pack and it would last like 3-4 months, and I was super cheap. I didn't want to waste all kinds of money on scent circles every couple weeks. So I would put a scent circle there. Somebody broke into my truck. Somebody needs to mute them, folks. But anyway, somebody stole the damn Love Story scent pack.
Got it, I think. We'll see.
So I ended up putting a post up on Facebook the next day and saying, you know what, whoever stole that Love Story scent pack out of my truck last night, they left everything else. They left my MP3 player, all my stuff out of my glove box was on the floor. They totally broke into my truck and all they stole was my Love Story scent pack. So I can't wait.
MP3 player, Kelly, that day too, right there. That was so long ago.
It was like, I don't know, it was forever ago. Is my, you know, the little ones that had the little circle and the little play button? Was one of them.
Yeah. That's called an iPod. Yeah, they don't make those anymore. Well, they do, I think, actually. But.
It was not an iPod because I do not believe in eye products.
No, that's right. It's okay. You're an eye hater. It's fine.
I am an eye hater for real.
So you should be stocking your Love Story and keep.
So now everybody should feel bad for me and send me all the Love Story stuff.
Yes. We'll have Carol teach us how to do circles. Wow. Okay, so Carol, what is your current favorite scent that is in circulation right now?
I'm the worst. I love Pina Colada Cha-Cha, and I like mixing scents. So mostly I do Pina Colada Cha-Cha, but sometimes I'll mix it with lemon sorbet because I like a little bit more lemon smell. I know it sounds gross, but it's actually really good. So Bring back my bars. Customers love it. They will never bring back my favorite scent. And so I just am stuck with going with what they bring back. My very favorite scent is grapefruit pomegranate, and it hasn't been back in like so long. It was such a long time ago.
Ooh, grapefruit pomegranate. That sounds good.
Yeah. But you know, all my customers, this is probably the best bring back my bar list we've had in a long time. All of my customers are so excited about all the scents. I mean, it's a really good bring back my bar list. So I'm excited just to see how we do with it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's already looking really promising today. I was looking at our numbers and I am excited. So, okay. Amber, what about you?
Well, I have a problem because my Scentsy Club is going to get so large with this Bring Back My Bar rounds because it is the best list I've ever seen, or at least definitely in a while. Ocean, if I have to pick one, because I already have French Kiss in my Scentsy Club. But Ocean for sure. I love that one. I was super sad when it discontinued because I was personally addicted to it in the laundry. We loved it in the laundry. So I'll definitely be locking the bar into my Scentsy Club. And Carol can be jealous because my all-time favorite scent did come back a couple of years ago with Bring Back My Bar, and that is My Home. That's my number one all-time favorite. And it is definitely my Scentsy Club. I get it every month. I love it. But yeah, Ocean this time around.
Yay, that's exciting. And the cool thing is, you know, whenever I put in the plug with customers about Scentsy Club, it's like as your club begins to grow as a consultant, we get commission, plus we get the club perks. So even though it's growing, we still get those little perks that kind of helps take the edge off a little bit. So that's awesome. Awesome. Okay, Dorothy, what about you?
So I was looking to remind myself of which ones actually came back, and there are so many good ones. I mean, I knew this, but of my favorite, I would say Honeymoon Hideaway, White Tea and Cactus. Those remind me of back in the day, like when I started. I think 2 weeks from now is going to be my 9-year Scentiversary. So I remember those as my favorites when I first started. But I would have to say the ultimate would be Oodles of Orange, because I like the citrusy, like Sunkissed citrus and things like that. And that one just really, really, really reminded me of the citrusy stuff. And that's what I love. So I would have to say, yeah, that would be my all-time favorite.
Oh, and you look like a Oodles of Orange person, just vibrant and summer and tropical. That is so cool. I love it. Okay. I don't know. Did we see DPP? She might be in transit, but is Debbie on? If not, we'll catch her on the tail end. If you're on, go ahead and unmute yourself. If not, I will time. Oh, there you are.
I'm just getting home. So I think the question was about the bars, right? To bring back my bars.
So the question is your current favorite scent that's in circulation right now, and a lot of us are choosing to bring back my bars.
You know she's gonna say watermelon patch or watermelon mint.
Yeah, you better know it. All the watermelon, give me all the watermelon scents. That is mine. They're mine.
Okay, so for those of you who do not know DPP or Debbie well, she loves watermelon. Literally, I don't even know when watermelon season is, but you can always catch her dicing up and cutting up a watermelon all throughout the year. She loves watermelon. So Kelly, you nailed it.
One of my team members sent me, Alicia, I know she's on the call. She sent me a TikTok video where somebody was putting mustard on watermelon. So she said, you gotta try it and you gotta video record that. So I've been challenged to do that.
Gosh, that sounds disgusting, but I can't wait to see it.
Debbie voice had me one night and through the Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, Debbie, what are you eating? Like whatever it is sounds good. And the next picture was a watermelon. She was eating it out the watermelon. She had the watermelon in front of her and she's like slicing pieces out of the dang watermelon.
Oh my gosh. Yep, she's the watermelon queen. Okay, so my favorite scent right now, Emily, I'll go last. What's your favorite scent that's in circulation?
Oh man. Well, the one that I just warmed the other day, and the problem is that we come out with so many amazing fragrances all the time. So it just seems like I'm buying more than I'm getting a chance to use. So like my personal stash is just like, so I finally just tried the lavender and violet from that Life's a Garden collection. And I'm just like blown away. It's like walking into spring in my house, and I'm like, I am so glad this is in my club, because sometimes if I don't get a chance to try something, I'll throw it in my club until I know for sure that I hate it. And if I hate it, I'll just delete it. But if I don't get a chance to try it right away, and I'm afraid that I'm going to love it and not get a chance to reorder if I can't before it sells out, then I'll do that. And so I finally tried the lavender and violet or whatever it is from that, and it's like, it is so good. But I don't know if I think it might already be sold out. So what I am looking most forward to from Bring Back My Bar, though, and I do have to agree with the other panelists that this is a really good list, and I have no problem coming up with 6 bars of favorites. So for me, it would probably be Lucky in Love, Jet Set Go, Love Story for sure, and Mulberry Bush. Mulberry Bush sort of reminds me of like a fruitier My Home. It just has this very, I don't know, it's just very cozy to me. So I feel like it's something you could warm all the time. Yeah, so those would be my picks.
Yay, that's so cool. And I'm seeing the chat is really busy tonight, and I love that. I'm seeing Mulberry Bush, and I'm seeing Jan mentioned that she likes Coffee Tree, and that's what I'm going to have to go with. I absolutely love Coffee Tree. And the ironic part about it is I hate coffee. I hate every type of coffee. I just hate it. But I love the scent of coffee. And before I knew about Scentsy, I would brew coffee because I have a coffee maker here in case visitors come. But I just love the smell and the aroma. So Coffee Tree does it completely for me. And I cannot wait to put that in my club and stock up on it. So I was laughing today. I had my very first customer ever that ordered from me. She still orders for me, and she always orders during Bring Back My Bar season. And so today she reached out and she was like, tell me if I'd like this. Tell me if I'd like that. And then she said, tell me if I would like Palo Santo. And I said, you won't like it. I was like, nobody likes it. I don't know why it's there. And so, she's states away. I said, don't even try it. And she was like, okay, I won't. So anyway, we had that conversation. And I was like, golly, of all the scents to ask about. But anyway, okay. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Last night, Heidi and Orville mentioned that we are going to have a partnership, or we do have a partnership right now with Warner Brothers. And, anyone can kind of jump in, but what in the world were your thoughts when Heidi came out and said Warner Brothers? Like literally, I know my jaw dropped, but Kelly, what were you thinking?
The first thing I thought was Harry Potter. And for years, I think us as superstar directors, as consultants, I remember going all the way back before I was a superstar director, thinking like, what if we had Harry Potter? You know how much money we would make? Because people are always asking for Harry Potter. And then I was like, Warner Brothers, what else is Warner Brothers? And then I Googled it. And then that's when I started seeing all the Looney Tunes people. What I didn't know is Warner Brothers is also part of Friends. So I'm like, oh my God, like, what if we got Friends wax? What if we had Ross wax and Joey wax? And we had all these things. So I'm over here thinking big picture. Think about all the stuff that we can do with Warner Brothers. The DC Comics, like my dad was a Batman fan, grew up on Batman. Granted, I can try to push him Captain America and all the things that we have, but he is Batman to the core. So like, what if we come up with a Batman warmer that has a signal in the background? Like the little robot guy. You see, I am not a Star Wars guy. R2. R2D2, how he has Princess Leia in the background. What if we had Batman, like something like, I don't know what, but then he has a bat signal in the background and it goes on the wall. And then you have like the Joker and Harley Quinn, and I could make up all this kind of stuff in my head. And then one day it's going to come true and you're going to be like, remember that Dreamstruck Kelly told us about the damn Batman and he glows on the wall? And then Scentssy's going to listen to this and they're going to take all my ideas and they're going to make all these warmers.
And we're all going to be rich now. Now that is so cool. I didn't realize, like, after the live ended, I could only think about Harry Potter, and then I thought about growing up in cartoons like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and but our team members kept posting, and the more that they posted, the more that I realized how big Warner Brothers really is. I mean, some were, and I don't know if all this is true, but they were saying Scooby-Doo, they were saying Christmas, Elf, and golly, all kinds of stuff. And so really, if all of that is factual, there's just no limit. And I really felt proud to be with Scentsy. I've always felt proud to be with Scentsy, but I felt even more proud. I feel like, when you hear those stories of like other companies where people are like, oh, I started in the beginning, I feel like I'm in the beginning of Scentsy, and all this growth is happening. So I'm so excited. So jump over to Carol. What were you thinking with all the end of month action that happened last night? What was going through your mind?
Oh, I was just so excited. I love Warner Brothers. So I love Justice League and those things. So I'm like, heck yeah, we're talking Wonder Woman, which I am so excited about. So, I mean, I'm hoping that they'll come out with Wonder Woman. I was not a huge Looney Tune fan, but I mean, I know there are people that are out there. I just think Scentsy keeps coming out with more and more opportunities for us to expand and to reach other people. So people think, oh, there's, so many consultants, or I wouldn't want to be part of this company because there's just, it's been around for a while. Well, it doesn't matter, because we're going to continue to come out with things. And customers don't care about the S word, the saturation word. They care about, who's going to give them the best service. What products do we offer? What kinds of things are going to be available to us? And Scentsy keeps coming out with new innovative things or new partnerships just to increase offerings or LTOs. And so it's going to be a pretty stacked year, which is what Heidi said, right? She said it was going to be super awesome, but they weren't going to announce what else is coming out. But I mean, we have a no ceiling income. We literally have a no ceiling limitation on product offerings, because they can continue to get more licensings. The more things we do, the more licensing opportunities open up, and the better that we do. And the more, like what they said, if we honor the licensing agreements and don't spam people on their pages and those sorts of things, there's going to be just amazing more opportunities available to us. So I was just like, yeah, bring it on, baby. Just bring it on. We're going to sell it. You make it, we'll sell it. Right. So that was my thoughts last night. I was like, all right, I'm excited. I don't care when it comes. It could be next year, but I am thrilled because I know they have lots of stuff in store for us, and we're not going to be lacking for any sort of sales this year in 2021 at all. And if you think about it, 2021 today is half over. Half of the year is gone, and it's like, holy crap, this year is flying by. So even if it does come out next year, it's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just really, really excited. And I was also wondering, how in the world do you beat our Nightmare Before Christmas? Because that's when I really saw a pivot, and I think Scentsy did too. They had no idea the market that they were getting into when we sold out like in 9 minutes the first time that they introduced, Nightmare Before Christmas. And this is how you do it. Harry Potter, Warner Brothers, all the things. And I believe what Heidi said last night. She was like, really, every single month we have something to stack. So I believe it, and I'm excited. So with all that being said, I know that we can go around and everyone can kind of share, their jaw-dropping moments from last night. But really what we want to get into tonight is June. Here we are. We had an amazing May. And I believe Orville said that year over year, which is also astonishing, that we beat last May's record. And that's huge. And so, here we are again stacked in June. And I, before Dreamstruck, took a look at our numbers and I was like, holy moly. I mean, the first day of June is actually better than the first day of May. And that's usually the goal. You want to be better than what you were yesterday. And I'm pretty sure that we can all say that we're all doing so much better. So how do we keep the momentum going? Because June is going to look a little bit different for many of us, right? How is it going to look different? It's going to look different because many of our kids are either out of school or they're going to be out of school pretty soon, right? We also have some that are going to be on vacation. And if you're new, you're kind of like, well, how do I find this balance, with family and vacation? And we have people like Kelly that's packing up right now as we speak, and moving into a dream home. We've got Carol, who's moving into a dream office, and it's kind of like it's summertime. How do we keep the momentum going? And it's summertime. So what I'd like to do is just kind of go around to the panelists and everyone offer a tip or two, whether it's a seasoned consultant or a brand new consultant that just joined last night. What is your advice to keep the momentum going in June, and particularly June today? What can they do? What can we all do to have an amazing month? So let's go ahead and start with Dorothy. What tip do you have for all of us?
Okay, and that's really neat that you brought up this part of the topic, because it's something that I'm actually working on for myself. I had to figure out, I'm a mom of 5. I have 3 kids still living here. And so it's going to be a busy summer with the kids being home and everything. And before school is out, I looked at my schedule. I tried to figure out how I was going to still fit Scentsy in, and I am going to wake up earlier. I'm just going to continue doing it as if I woke up during the school year. I will wake up with them, like 6 o'clock in the morning and everything. And I told myself, well, why don't I just continue doing that? And I think that will be my quiet time to get work done while they are still asleep and before they start asking for breakfast and anything like that, So definitely, if you're someone who's trying to figure out how you're going to do it with the kids being home, work around the schedule. And does that mean that you're going to wake up earlier in the morning, or are you going to work after they go to bed at night? But the beauty of it is that you can fit it in anywhere. So of course I'll be working here and there throughout the day, but my quiet time will be in the morning still, because I'm a morning person anyway. My husband, not so much, but I am. So that's what I'm going to do. And for my customers, they really love the Bring Back My Bar. They just get so excited to see what fragrances come out and things like that. So I did make Bring Back My Bar samples, and I have been distributing them to customers that have previously ordered for me. We've chatted about it, and I asked them, hey, do you want some samples of them? And they, of course, they say yes. And new customers as well. I went through and saw who ordered from me via PWS last month, because I really saw that increase. And so I want to make sure I'm servicing those customers, though, especially the ones that I've never met before. And that was a way for me to kind of, besides following up with their order, I also said, like, hey, this Bring Back My Bar is coming up, and I'm going to have some samples, would you be interested? And so trying to get different fragrances under their noses to get them interested in other things than what they ordered, or maybe what their favorite fragrance was. So definitely concentrating on Bring Back My Bar. And I am super excited about our Mrs. Potts and Chip. This is one of our favorites in our house. And so, I kind of did like a little sneak peek using my chip here. It's just a little mug, but in my VIP group, to try to get conversation going, like, hey, who loves Mrs. Potts and Chip and things like that, just to kind of start getting conversation going about the products that we know are coming up later this month.
So I love that. I almost freaked out. I was like, did you seriously get Chip when you went to Idaho?
I wish. Yeah. So I love her little. Yeah, so we're excited about that. So
I love that, Dorothy, because basically you're representing many of us, that some, may not have any kids at home, but you're representing the mom or the dad that has 5, you have 5 kiddos. Some may not all at home, but once a parent, always a parent, right? But what you're saying is there's some people that are like, I'm going to stop my business over the summer and I'm going to resume, in the fall. And what you're saying is, no, it still continues. This is my livelihood. I just need to restructure. So for someone here that's like, oh my gosh, this is my first summer with Scentsy. I've got my kids hanging off my leg. They want to go swimming. Restructure your schedule. Where there's a will, there is a way. Scentsy's doing their part. They're delivering everything we need. We just need to show up And consistency is the biggest key. When you dip out of your business for a week or two, your customers will dip out too. And when they dip back up, they may not dip back up with you. So I love that
find someone else to help them out. Definitely. They'll find those customers will, if you're not willing to help them or you don't get back to them, you know, they're going to find someone else. And I still meet new customers that say, well, I've tried to contact like 3 or 4 consultants and nobody returned my call. And I just, I'm floored. I just can't believe that, you know? So, and that goes to show that no, we're not saturated either, because there are customers out there that are looking for consultants.
Absolutely. So thank you, Dorothy. Okay, Emily, what's your summer tip to offer?
It's funny you should say that, because I actually did the all consultant training call today, and it was all about recharge your PRV with BB&B. So the big thing that we talked about was, you know, what's the purpose of the Bring Back My Bar program, which I think most of you are already pretty familiar with. But also too, the importance of club. And I think that if this pandemic taught us anything, it's that those with consistent routine and systems in place, they thrive during all of this. And admittedly, you know, there were some things I was doing in the beginning of the pandemic that I sort of had to shift a little bit, especially once my kids were home remote learning. I really struggled because I tried to school the kids myself, and then we switched learning models, so that was a challenge too. And then they went back to school for a very brief time, and then they were home again. So during the day, I actually, where I'm sitting now is my computer. My daughter is on my computer all day for school from 9 to 3. My son is on my old computer that we gave him upstairs in his room. So I get to work from an iPad, but I didn't let that stop me. That's what I did the training on. That's what I did all my recognition on today. And so I just want to encourage you, because of our Bring Back My Bar campaign right now, you're going to notice, if you haven't already, that this is the time that people are really interested in signing up for club. And this is the time, if you haven't been doing up until this point, this is the time that you want to be offering it. Because, you know, the days where we used to tell somebody, hey, your favorite scent is back, let's stock up, you know, they would be dropping hundreds of dollars on their favorite scent. And you know, we know from being in Scentsy long enough that as much as we love the bars, when they sit for a long time, the scent isn't as potent later on. And so, get out of my screen. So, sorry, kids. The scent just isn't as potent anymore. So it's you know, they're spending hundreds of dollars on stocking up on bars that may or may not be good in a year or two, and they're doing that simply because it's one of those situations where it's the scarcity mentality. I don't know when I'm going to get this again, so I need to stock up. So if you have a customer that comes to you this month and says, I need to stock up on my favorite fragrance, don't just accept that. Say, I have a better solution. Let's set up a Scentsy Club subscription for you. Now, you're going to have to explain to them how that works. Now, I wouldn't, like, again, we always say, don't word vomit on people. Tell them what they need to know. Focus on the benefits of the program. So it's going to be things like the 10% discount on a $30 order. That way, not only are they getting their scent forever with the Always Get My Bar perk, but they're getting a 10% discount, which is better than if they bought it with you. So, when you have that recurring PRV, if you do have to step away from the computer for a weekend because you and your family are going off in the camper somewhere, or you're taking a road trip, or you're doing something, you have the satisfaction and the, you know, the reassurance that your business isn't going to take a dive because you've done the legwork to get those club subscriptions in place to ensure that you're going to continue to generate PRV even when you aren't working. I don't believe that there's this idea that we have to be on all the time. I think that if we're going to promote this business as flexible and, you know, legacy business and, you know, all the things that we want to tell people that it is, we can't make it look like all we do is work all the time. So setting up systems like Scentsy Club, or, you know, having a great referral program in place, those are the things that are going to keep your business moving over the summer when maybe you don't have as much time to dedicate to it.
I love that. Thank you, Emily. So Emily, in summary, she's really capitalizing on the Bring Back My Bar movement, that we have only twice a year. And she's trying to generate as many club orders as she can to kick off her summer. And not only is that generating PRV for this month, but it's generating residual PRV, throughout the month. So I love that you're doing that. You're working smarter, not harder. And Emily, if you don't mind, you mentioned the all consultant call. And I want to tell you, I was on it from beginning to end this morning and you nailed it. I loved the beginning as you were introducing your family. And if I wasn't a part of Scentsy, I'd be like, I want to join her team because it was just captivating. And anyway, I just want to tell you that you did an awesome job. But for new, and there's some people that don't know, can you tell us what is the all consultant call?
Oh yeah, sure. By the way, I don't know if you and Kelly, I don't know if Kelly was on the call today, but I had a little ode to my, Scentsy besties. Your little picture was in there. I think it was the one where we're all like, acting cool there in Barcelona. Anyway, it's one of my favorite pictures. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I mean, I have been going all day with trainings and stuff like that. So the all consultant training call is offered at a corporate level. It's every single person in Scentsy can register. It's every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So that's 11 a.m. Central and 12 p.m. Eastern. And it's about an hour long, the same length of time as this. But what's really cool is like, if you're unable to get into the meetings at night, maybe just because of the kids' routine, or you want to spend time with your family, then the daytime training is definitely for you. Take advantage of what Scentsy's offering. If you tune in live, you actually get entered to win prizes. You get to what's cool is that they give you sort of in the beginning, they kind of give you a quick rundown of everything that's happening that month, the promotions coming out, the scent warmer of the month, how you can plug in if you're a new consultant, what kinds of things you should be doing, your first things first checklist, et cetera, et cetera. If you're a new sponsor, checking out that new sponsor checklist. And then of course it leads in with whatever topic they're discussing. And so they always try to tailor it to whatever the need is for that month. So for me, being the beginning of June, it was recharge your PRV with BBMB. So next month, I believe it actually is going to be Bree Wallace, and she's doing the call talking about, basically what T has been saying, like, don't just sit on your butt and quit your business over the summer, how to keep things going. So if you are interested in carrying on that conversation, definitely go and register for next Tuesday. And I love, Teresa, I saw that I'm stealing your idea. I never even thought to do it. I see that you create events in your team page for the all consultant training call every Tuesday. And I never did that. And so I'm totally taking your idea. I just didn't get a chance to today, but to go in and schedule all those events. That way, if your team is on Facebook, but isn't necessarily on the workstation, the old style workstation used to actually have a big banner across the homepage that would tell us when the consultant training call was, and the link to register was right there as soon as you logged in. So it was easy to see and just do. But now you actually have to click on training and go, click another couple of things in order to get to it. So unless you know where you're going and what you're doing, sometimes it's easy to miss. But if you have those already in your team pages, then it's easy to get plugged in that way. But yeah, so like I said, there is not a lack of education and training out there. What there seems to be a lot of I guess in Scentsy or any direct sales business is action. People feed so much on constant training, but they lack implementing what they've learned. So my hope is that, between the Tuesday night trainings with us and the all consultant training calls during the day and the other little snippets that Scentsy throws in on the Scentsy consultant Facebook pages and things like that, that you take something away and you apply it. You just take something. But yeah, there's definitely, we have an overabundance of resources and training, and it's for everyone. So make sure that you tell your teams about it too. And thank you for all the commendation in the comments. I appreciate that. Cause I'll tell you what, I was on there and I'm like, you have a certain way you think it's gonna go in your head. And then I'm like, oh man, I meant to say that, or, oh, that didn't come out the way I wanted to. And then I worry I'm going to ramble. So I'm just glad that Some people took something away from what I was saying today. There were some other great ideas too. So yeah, make sure if you didn't get a chance to watch it live today that you go back and watch the recording, because it'll be uploaded to the training center. So, but thank you for that.
Well, thank you. And thanks for sharing about that, about the all consultant call. So again, make sure that you mark your calendars on Tuesday mornings. Some of you can't catch the evenings because it's family time, it's dinner, it's kids, it's whatever, that's fine. But then there's also, during the day, some of you can't do the day because you're working, and then there's us that hear it in the evening. So anyway, thanks again, Emily, for that. And let's go ahead and bounce over to Kelly. What summer tip do you have to offer to all of us?
The tip that I have is something I actually do what day are we on today? Tuesday? Every Tuesday night. Where I'm constantly working a month ahead. So I know next week I have to move. So I knew that months ago, right? So I started working on June, actually back at the beginning of May, so that I'm not behind. If I do fall behind, at least I'm still ahead, if that makes any sense. So I do my follow-up system a month ahead. So usually during our Tuesday night calls, I'm addressing my postcards or I'm addressing my thank yous. I usually do my thank yous 2 weeks after the order, because let's say they get their order in 10 days. I send my thank yous out about 14 days later, because I want to stay on their mind after they get their product. And then, I check in when I know their stuff's delivered. Hey, did you get that? They're like, yep. Did you open it up? Yep. Was anything good? Yep. It's not broken. Okay, great. They got their stuff. Then I send out the thank you, because then a week later, then I'm on their mind. And then after that, then they start into my 3-month follow-up system, where I send them right now it's felt samples because it's hot. So I send them a felt sample for the next 3 months following their purchase. It helps me in the event that I don't get to my Amy follow-up. Amy follow-up is something that I personally fight with. I love it for following up with my team and my group and keeping up with birthdays and all that stuff. But as far as my customers, sometimes it's iffy, because when they want me to contact somebody from 4 years ago, what the hell do you say? So I struggle with that a little bit, but in the summer times, it's my friend, because, okay, my son's out of school next week. Just like Dorothy said, what the hell are we going to do? So I can take my phone to the park. I can take my phone to the zoo or wherever. Granted, I won't be fully mentally there, but I'm at least doing something with my kids, because my business does not stop. I cannot take off work for a month at a time and just do stuff because my kids are home from school. So had I worked a normal job, I treat Scentsy like a normal job, I would have to put my kids in daycare, which is not something that I really want to do during the summer. Granted, my toddler goes to daycare because he's a toddler and he's hell. So he goes to daycare. So in the big scheme of things, that is not something, he's going to go to daycare till he's like 4 or 5, and then I'll take him out of daycare and he can go to school, and then we're cool. But for right now, the 10-year-old is going to be home. And once we move, I'm thinking of taking the teenager out of daycare and having them both home for the summer and seeing how that goes. But you know what? I don't want them cooped up in the house, because that's not fair to them. So I can, here's what I actually have every single week. It looks like this. I got this at the Dollar Tree. I address my thank yous while we're sitting here, so I can get this done while we're just talking about whatever. And I can add stickers to stuff, so I don't have to do that later. So here's my little Scentsy Club information. Here's the address that is not filled out yet. And then obviously I got to put my return label on there. And then I stuff them while we're sitting here with my rat card and my monthly flyer specials, which I'm out of and I'm waiting on for some more. But I can sit here and address all the envelopes, but I can also take all of my postcards to the park. We can go to a different park every day. We can go on a walk, and I could, while I'm walking, we can work from our phones. That's the freedom we have. And while I'm walking around the lake with my 2 kids, I can be following up with my customers and talking about how awesome my job is, that I can walk around the lake and follow up with my customers at the same time. I mean, that might not be appealing to somebody, but in the real world, you're going to have to do something for something. Nobody's going to give you something for nothing, which I would rather walk the lake and text my customers asking, hey, how you're doing? Do you need a reorder? Than me going to a 9-to-5 job that I absolutely hate, that my kids are in daycare. So I really only make like $10 an hour because half my money goes to daycare. It just doesn't make sense for us to do that when we don't have to do that. But you have to do something to get something. So My big tip is to work ahead of time. Don't wait till the last minute, like Bring Back My Bars. We all knew Bring Back My Bars were coming a month ago. So that means order, if you're doing the testers and you're pouring your wax in the testers, order them ahead of time. Make the labels for them ahead of time. So when the wax comes, all you got to do is pour the wax. Then it's not so stressful. But if you're waiting till today to order your wax, you're going to be always behind a step. And you're going to be struggling to catch up. I promise you, because I've done it for many years, where I was always trying to catch my tail. I was always running. And I was running in circles until I burnt out. And then finally I'm like, hey, work ahead. What are you doing, stupid? Work ahead. And then you'll never be behind. And now that's where I am. So save yourself the time and the headache of catching your own tail, because it's not going to happen. Just work ahead as much as you can to your own schedule.
I love that. I love that tip. And I've known Kelly for years now, and she really does. Absolutely. She works ahead. She works way ahead, more than just 2 weeks, but I'm sure she has a short term ahead and a long term ahead. And I really do respect that about you. You know, being a little bit more organized. If you're challenged with organization, you know, that could be a weakness, but allow yourself to be challenged by that and definitely plan ahead. That way, if something comes up, you know, you're still ahead of the game. So I love that. Thanks, Kelly. Debbie, what tip do you have for the summer? What's one tip that you can offer everyone?
Personal branding. I don't know if you guys can see this in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I've decided to do something different with branding because I've tried to find ways to get people to follow me. And one thing I've learned is that when they follow you, they're going to look and see what you do. They're going to peek around and see what you're all about. So this past weekend, my daughter and I, we had a photo session. As you can see, she's holding a bar and she's holding a room spray. And what I plan on doing with these photos, I don't have them all back yet. What I plan on doing with these photos, I am going to I've already created an album. And the album on my Facebook page is called Life with DPP. So anything that I do, whether it's when I go to lunch and I have lunch, I'm going to take a picture of what I had to eat. And that's going to go in the album Life with DPP. What I'm doing, I'm drawing the attention to me, to my page, because I don't know how many times I've heard people say, well, nobody's liking my post. I get crickets on my post. Nobody's commenting. So this is attraction marketing is what I'm looking at doing. And I'm going to be teaching my team members to do the same thing because you do get crickets out there. So, I mean, even with the TikTok, you know, in VIP groups, I've heard many consultants say, well, it's so dead over there. Nobody's doing anything. So the TikTok videos are entertaining. So even if you're not into TikTok videos, if you find one that's kind of funny, Sharita sent me goofy dog TikTok videos all the time. It doesn't matter as long as you can make somebody smile. That's what we're doing. I'm trying to revamp this attraction marketing because this is how last month my PRV was close to $6,000, and a lot of this came from attraction marketing. I had one party going on. Of course, I have party links going on too, but a lot of what's happening is because of this attraction marketing. So, you know, using real products. I mean, it's okay to use images, but when you use real products, and I have a grandbaby, I told my son, look, when you get a chance, put something in Ron's hand and send that picture to me, a Scentsy buddy, a bar, doesn't matter what it is, and send that picture to me because she's going to bring me some orders is what's going to happen. And not only that, people will join your team. I got 2 random team. Well, no, 17 people to join my team last month. Of the 17 people, 15 were random. 15 random people because of the way I market, because I'm drawing people to me with the way I post on Facebook, because I'm posting inspirational posts, funny things, food, pets, you name it. I mix it up. Same thing with my VIP groups. So what you're doing, you're bringing people to you without even saying, come over here and make a purchase. You're bringing them to them because they're going to peek around. People are nosy. So since they're nosy, they're peeking around and looking on the page, you want to make it easy for them to find things. And it's so easy when you can put things in order, such as the albums. I mean, I have a Scentsy album. I have a tips for DPP. I have an album for my daughter, one for my son, one for my grandkids, one for the dogs. I have albums for everything. But this is what I am going to teach my team members because I've been doing it for a while, but it works and it's easy.
I love that. So in summary, this summer, you're starting now as far as working on branding and you're trying new things. So basically what brought you to success last summer isn't what's bringing you to success this summer. You're trying something new. You mentioned TikTok. And that wasn't something that you were interested in before, but you started dipping into it saying, well, let me see what this is about. And it opened up another market for you. So I love that. You also said that you went to a studio and you took pictures, and some people might say, I don't have studio money yet. And we get that. You can go out with your own cell phone, put it on portrait mode if you have an iPhone, and take some pictures of you and the product. The point is making yourself relatable, sharing a little bit about you. And I know that there's some of you out there that's like, I don't want anyone in my personal life. I'm private. But I can tell you that the growth that many of us are finding is finding that balance. People want to relate to you. And when they can relate to you and when they can be attracted to your story or find themselves in your story or find inspiration in your story or humor in your story, next thing you know it, the 20% rule comes into play. They're like, oh, and she's a Scentsy consultant. Let me see what that's about. Let me join her team or his team, or let me purchase a product or let me host a party. So I love that, Debbie, that you shared that you're really focusing, moving into June, jumping into June, working on branding. So we can't wait to see what's in store. We can't wait to glance at your albums. Okay, Amber, what tip do you have for the summer, jumping into June? What is your jump into June tip?
All right. Well, my tip is to do it. Jump into June. Like here we are on June 1st. And I know everything is different for most people, like whether or not you have kids, whether or not you're off over the summer, go ahead and comment. I know I usually talk to the teachers because that's what I used to do. So I used to be a teacher. So if you're a teacher, shout yourself out in the comments, or if your summer changes, in any way, let us know how, comment, chat. We want to know. Because even though this will be my 4th summer of not teaching, all of those other summers when I was teaching and building up my Scentsy business, what I had to do was jump on that time that I had during the summer. Summer was the time for me as a teacher to put systems into place. So all of these things that you hear us talk about, or you see people chat about on Dreamstruck, and you're thinking, oh, I would love to do that, like Kelly's follow-up system, all those cute stickers, bag parties, Facebook parties, online shopping links like DPP talks about all the time. All of these things, you just file them away, because you don't have time. So over the summer, I know things are different. It's a different kind of busy. It's a different kind of crazy. But at the same time, we don't have bedtimes as strict as we did before. We're eating dinner later. We're staying outside later. All of those things, So take these 2 months, take these 3 months, especially when sales can be slow with Scentsy. Now, they don't have to be. I don't know about you guys, but I don't let my summers be slow. I work that much harder so that they're not. But while you do have, even if it's 10 extra minutes a day, you can find it. Get those systems into place, because I will tell you right now, if you take the summer off, if you use the excuse of kids are home, life is crazy, blah, 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 you're setting yourself up for a not very good fall. If you push yourself and try even just to put one more system into place, one thing you want to try, if you just put yourself out there to try one more thing to get these systems into place, you're going to set yourself up for an amazing fall. Whatever you do in the summer is going to affect your fall. We all know that fall is the best season. Even if you're brand new, even if you just joined during the $20 month and you haven't had a fall yet, you were a customer back then, and you were buying more Scentsy in the fall. You were buying Christmas presents. You were buying all the pumpkin, all the Nightmare Before Christmas. And so now you're about to see it from the consultant side. And whatever you do, one way or the other, if you take the summer off, it's going to affect your fall negatively. If you push yourself through the hardness of summer and use any kind of extra time, or just summer feels good because it's different, right? Any bit of that to try something new and get the systems into place for your business for the fall, you're going to feel it. I promise you, you're going to feel it. So I would highly, highly, highly encourage you guys to get those systems into place. If you know that when the kids start back to school in August or September, you're going to be balls crazy, like fix it now. What do you want to do on the first of the month, mid-month, end of the month? What do you want to do on Mondays? When do you want to do your follow-up? Get it down right now. Because when August comes, you think summer's crazy. You know good and well August is even crazier.
I love that. And Amber, I love that you speak to teachers. I don't know about on your team, but I know in my organization, we have so many teachers. I'm thinking about Tammy and particularly and Nina. We have Lucy. We have so many teachers. I can't relate to that. God did not prepare me to be a teacher of any kind, but you all are amazing. And I know that some teachers look forward, to the summers, but also they're trying to figure out, how do I structure this? How do I organize it? And still have that free time before school starts back up again in the fall. So I love that you're able to speak to that audience and more. So thank you for sharing those tips. Carol, what is your summer tips to offer everyone jumping into June? What would you share?
So, oh my gosh, well, everyone has kind of already said possibly what I was going to say, but one of the things is you need to, so hot. I was painting in front of this window. It's sun and I'm like dying here.
Carol,
okay.
where are you painting?
I'm painting my office. I have to finish the windowsills. So yes, this is my new office, or will be as soon as the floors are done. So it is quite large. It's very echoey at the moment. But anyway, so one of the things here's the deal. Kids will wait. And so I know I've said this before, and I'll reiterate it. Kids want they want to hear from you 3 times a day. That's in the morning when you wake up, at night when they're going to bed, and after they've been gone for an extended period of time. If they are home all day long, they don't care if you do something with them or not. They're usually playing or doing other things. So one of the things that I do in the summertime is I tell them I have work to get done and I have to do X, Y, and Z, then we will go do something fun. And so we incorporate the kids. So as soon as I'm done working, then we'll go and swim, or we'll go to the park, or we'll go do whatever. But mom has to work and get these 3 things done because you want things, right? Well, this is my business, is how it pays for that. And so that's one of the things. But I always make sure that we spend time, but I do let them know that mom has to work just a little bit during the summertime, because this is my job. This is not something, I mean, it is something that I do for fun, but when you work intentionally, you can get things done in 2 to 3 hours that would normally take 6 or 7 hours. If you work really intentionally, if you have a list at night, the night before, make a list of the most important things that have to be done the next day. And then that will keep you, I guess more organized, because then you have a task list. And once you complete those tasks, now then you can go have fun and you can reward yourself. And incorporate your family. If there's things that sticker in order to go swimming, the kids need to sticker in order to go get ice cream. They need to help you say, well, you know what, if this will get done much faster. And so that's what I do with my kids in the summertime, is they have to help if they want to go do fun things. And they know that that's how it is. And so we've done that for so long, it's just kind of ingrained into them. But I'm telling you, you can make excuses all day long of why you can't work your business, but excuses don't make you money. And if you want to make money and continue to service, and the people that you meet, like, take some things to work on at the pool, take some things to work on at the park. You never know who you're going to run into this summer. And you're going to meet new people. Look at summertime as networking, where I'm working on building a list of new people to then market to in the fall. And so if you look at every opportunity in the summer, every place you go, wear a Scentsy shirt, have some Scentsy stuff to work on, or at least have a catalog to browse that you can then leave with your new friend. Go work intentionally while the kids are having fun. And because just like everybody said, we can work from anywhere. Have phone, we'll travel. I can work from my phone from the beach, from the mountain. Well, as long as I have internet, from the pool, from the park. I mean, you know, from the play places. So just know that you can still, this can be, you don't have to take the summer off. And I encourage you not to take the summer off. That will damage your business this fall. And so continue to, you know, work a little bit. So decide, I'm going to work 2 to 3 hours a day. See what you can do. See what is the smallest amount that you can work this summer and still be successful. That's the key. I feel like, and what Amber was saying, creating systems when things are a little bit more flexible is great for you, because then you can see what works, what doesn't, how can I keep working and work at the shortest amount of time and still have fun. And then showcase that on your social media, because that's what attracts people. A flexible schedule, the ability to have fun and do things with your kids, the ability to work and still make money and have a successful business. That's what people want. People want freedom. And so your job is to show freedom this summer. And how can I make this happen? And that's what I say. You can be successful during the summer months, and your business cannot skip a beat, even with kids home. I mean, look, we just went through a pandemic and kids were home all the time. And you guys made a successful business. We were in hyper growth. We had all this stuff happening. So you're a pro. You already know how to do this. And there's no reason why anything has to really change during the summer. You can work with kids at home. It's totally doable. But just know that, and then work on your personal development. Take time to read and do things for yourself to grow yourself. Learn how, you know, read more, take a, you know, find a YouTube class on social media and all that kind of stuff. So you can do fun things, you know, while you're tanning or at the pool, and read a book that's going to feed your mind and work, you know, help you in your business. So that's my take. We're going to have a fantastic June.
Yeah, we're going to have an amazing June. And Carol, I love everything that you said. One of the things that really stuck out to me, and I took some notes here, but with the summer, we're all going to be getting out, you know, at some capacity, whether you're going to the swimming pools, whether you're going to the lake, whether you're going to Disney World, whatever it is that you're doing with your family, going for a walk, going to the zoo. As you approach this month, do not let this month end without having new customers. You know, as you're going out, make sure that you're branded. Make sure that you have something to hand off to your new friend. Oh, sorry. I thought I ended this, but I didn't. Okay, I'm still here, guys. So make sure that you don't, however you begin this month, do not end it without, you know, a new circle or new customers in your circle. If you're just going out and having a great time, that's awesome. But also remember that you are a business owner. And if you owned any other business, wouldn't you be sharing that? If you had a laundromat, wouldn't you want to share that with the community so that they would choose you, you know, as you're talking on the bench at Disney or at the lake on a boat or whatever. So make sure that you're making those connections as you're out even more this summer. So we've got about 3 minutes left, and I want to hit you guys with a bang. So make sure that you have pencil and paper out right now. I'm going to give you Teresa's top 10 summer tips, and I'm going to do it as quickly as possible so that way you guys can get out there and make sure that you are jumping into June. And also get active today. There's so much going on today with boxes, bring back my bars, where all of us should be active at 200 PRV or more today. Okay, so number one is bring back my bar. June is all about bring back my bar. But one thing I want to remind you, my customers kept saying, Teresa, are they going to be available all summer long? There used to be a time, or all month long, there used to be a time where they were. They're not. They are considered LTOs. So if we have a popular bring back my bar, like Coffee Treat, and it sells out like it on week 3, yes, they can put it in the club, but they have up to 30 days to add it to the club from the time that it's released. I want you to go out today and market and sell as many bring back my bars that you can now, because that way they'll get a taste of it. now, and then they can either order more or add it to their club. But if they wait till mid-month or the end of the month, they may not have that opportunity. So bring back my bars now. Number 2, ice packs. Okay, ice packs are out in circulation right now, or they should be in a lot of areas with shipping. Save those ice packs. Carol actually taught us that even if you don't use them for your orders, your customers might want them. They might want them for their lunch pails. The nurses at schools love them. I actually donated ice packs to my school, my daughter's school, and they just thought that I was a hero. And yes, I was. It was a very kind act, and we are also recycling, yes. But it was also a way of kind of networking, you know, the Scentsy ice pack lady. So make sure that you're saving your ice packs. And you might be able to utilize them for porch pickups. If your customers, you know, are picking up, you can have that ice pack there. They're going to think you spent money on it, which you didn't. But make sure that ice packs are a part of your circulation this summer. Okay. Number 3, basket parties. If you're going on vacation, you might say, hey, time freedom. I am not working for the next 2 weeks. Yes, you are. You have employees. So what I want you to do, if you haven't already, if you do not have any scent testers, at least go and place an order for the transition scent testers, okay? And you can get some of the popular scent testers. Your customers do not have to have every single scent tester in our catalog. So if you don't have any, I think it might cost like $14. You can get a whole bundle of the transition set, divvy them up, give like each customer maybe 8 of these to give them a taste, not a taste, but a whiff of what our quality of our scents are. And as you go on vacation, let your employees work for you. I'm going to be on vacation for 2 weeks and have at least 2 or 3 basket parties out in circulation. And you know, you don't need much in there. A couple catalogs, some order forms, a few scent testers, and then when you come back, you can put those orders in, and boom, your PRV never stops. So work smarter and not harder, and make sure that your employees, your basket parties, are out working for you while you are in the beach swimming. Okay, next, number 4 is calendar. You can Google a June calendar. And what I want you to do is, we are still a party company, right? Let your customers know, you know what? It's the month of June. I'm so excited. I have 4 dates available this month for virtual parties or home parties or however you want to do your parties. And when you do it that way, it's not just like, hey, who wants to party or who wants to have an event with me? You're letting them know that you have X amount of dates available. And when you spell it out that way, all of a sudden people look at it like, ooh, I want to get one of those slots. So my question to you is, do you have party slots open for the month of June? Okay, identify what those dates are and get those booked now. Okay, let's get that PRV going. Let's flip those parties. Number 5, come up with some sort of a summer theme. You know, the world's opening back up, and some are interested in having house parties, virtual parties. Come up with summer themes. Everyone can't take off of work because everyone's not a Scentsy consultant. So why don't you bring the vacation to them? You can have a popsicle theme party. You can have a beach party. You can have a Hawaiian theme party, but be creative and have fun. This does not need to be your grandmother's Tupperware party, and no hate against Tupperware, but this can be fun and invigorating, okay? Number 6, felt. Again, something else that Carol taught. Now's not the time to be shipping wax from Texas to Virginia. It's going to melt. All right. Mailboxes are going to smell great. But that's not what you want. And the smelling does the selling. But I want to tell you that in the Scentsy Success Store, I looked last night, and we actually had new felt. Okay. We have summer felt, and I think it's like ice cream, you know, and all kinds of things. It's really, really fun. Okay. Number 6 is Be the Purple Cow. And I can't wait to show this to you guys. Okay. One of the things I'm trying to do for some of my larger orders, I don't know, it could be $30, $50, but I want to give all of my customers, whenever I can, just a little trinket to stand out. And so here's a water bottle, and you'll notice that it has one of those little, it's a margarita strawberry daiquiri drink mix, but there's no alcohol in it. This thing right here, I get 6 packets for $1. So this just cost me like, 15 cents. And then this bottle of water probably cost me like 10 cents. I don't know. So this is a 25-cent little gift. And as I'm delivering, orders and giving this to a customer, they might, even though it doesn't cost money, it's the time, it's the effort, and it's the purple cow aspect that they're like, I want to keep going back to her. You need to choose my Scentsy lady. Okay. So that's just, and you can do whatever. It doesn't have to be water and a drink. What were we at? Number 6, I think, I always do that. That might've been number 7. Number 8, events. Someone mentioned in the comments that events are opening back up. And be careful, there are outdoor events, but with outdoor events, things can melt. So be cognizant of what you bring to outdoor events, especially if you're in the Texas or Mississippi or Alabama market. But look for events. And your question is, where do I find events? The same way that you would find an event to go shopping to, shopping at, that's how you find events. And you can start looking between now and August. Why do we do events? We love events because that's where we can connect and meet new friends and customers. Okay. So number 8 is events. Even through the summer, you can schedule that. Number 9 is, stay focused. This summer is going to shift. We are in the process of ending our spring summer incentive. And if you are very close to earning the incentive, do not end this month without earning at least level 1. Keep going and keep growing. Many of you have all the PRV that it takes to even earn level 3. The challenge is that you either, you don't have the sponsoring points, and you can do this. Even with a few weeks left, 1 month left, you can sponsor someone tonight, tomorrow, the next 3, and you can help them. You may have already sponsored someone and they haven't made it to certified yet. Allow that to be a focus. Be intentional. Okay, that's number 9. Number 10, if and when you are vacationing, I don't care if you're even going just an hour away, think about your top 10 customers. And this is something that Kelly Rashaw taught me when I met her in Cyprus. But think about your top 10 customers and think about the ability that you have to be able to go on vacation, go to the beach, go to the swimming pool. And you can, wherever you go, if you're going to Disney in the next couple of weeks, get some postcards. Spend 25 cents or 10 cents because you can get 10 postcards for $1, and go to the post office tomorrow, and get postcard stamps. And when you're at your destination, like day 1 or day 2, write to your top 10 customers and just say, I am writing you from Florida, or I am writing you from wherever you are, from the pool deck. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. If you are vacationing, you can also be proactive and get a little postcard and, send to all your customers and say, this summer is going to be busy for everyone, right? But while we are in the summer, anyone who orders from my website, you don't have to tell them that you're on vacation, however you want to spell it. But you can say anyone in the month of June that orders from my website, you may have a free gift for them, or you may have, and you have to be careful with the pay to play. So, look at the standards. But you might say, take 10% off your order, or I'll, PayPal you 10% back, or no tax, or half off shipping, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to continue to generate PRV. That's the whole point. So be creative. You are the owner of your business. You are the entrepreneur. So you get to do what you want within our standards. Okay. So different ideas, different opportunities. So those are my top 10 tips. I hope that I numbered them properly. I heard other people like Donna Bodyfelt said schedule posts. Yes, we're all busy, but modern technology is our friend. If you're busy for the whole week, then you can take 15 minutes out of your schedule, tomorrow, and schedule your post for the next 2 weeks. So that way your customers still see consistency and that you're there. So, okay, I think I got it all out. Is there anything else that anyone wanted to offer? I know that we went over just a little bit, but if you can't tell, we are very excited about this month. The opportunity, we're excited about the Disney cars. I think we got so head over heels excited about Harry Potter that we have cars going out, the Disney movie Cars. We have a warmer scent bars and a scent circle that's going out. Find out who your car fanatics are, Disney car fanatics are. But is there anyone else that wants to say anything in closing tonight? Anybody, anyone? Okay. Well, listen, I think that this wraps up another evening of Dreamstruck. We hope that each and every one of you have an amazing June. You can join us right back here next week at 7 p.m. Central. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. And listen, don't wait till the middle of the month or the end of the month to get active. If you're not active today, your goal and your challenge is to be active by tomorrow. That's just a few scent packs of Bring Back My Bars. You can do it. Challenge yourself. We know that you can. Let's front load the month of June and find that proper balance. Okay. Have a good evening, and we will see you next week.